there, Cohort 2. Welcome to your second Tuesday tune-in for the program. Glad to be reaching out to you here via this medium. Remember, this is just some updates where we come and talk to you kind of about where we've been, where we're going, and we teach you maybe a strategy or a tip or something that can be helpful for you as you move along in your own digital teaching practices. So I wanted to come to you today and talk a little bit about where we've been. And that is, you guys have finished up Module 1. So Module 1 was due Sunday. And in Module 1, you really got into the course organization aspect, right? And thinking about how our course is formed from the syllabus, how it flows out of the syllabus, and indeed, where we can remember to do it, how it mimics the syllabus, right? So the same names are used in both to limit confusion. I especially think about this for those of us that teach over time, right? And you make updates and changes in the course that may not be reflective in the syllabi, or vice versa. So I would say definitely something important for us to think about. And then also lots of great posts, by the way, on the Online Learners and You reflection. I was really struck by how many of you really thought about those diverse learning perspectives and how they might impact the way you teach. And I think one particular phrase came to mind for me, right, where one of y'all talked about how it was important to be adaptable, to be empathetic, and try to meet the needs of the students where they are, right? And that's really all we ask. I think many times we get pulled down a rabbit hole where I just have to change everything. Well, you don't have to change everything. I think when you can, being empathetic, being a listener, being adaptable on occasion, and trying to meet the students where they are is a big deal, right? For me, I think about this during COVID. A big instance of this for me was we ended up having some students that did not have access to technology like a computer at the house. And so we wanted to try and find a way to keep the student from having to type out like a reflection or a paper just with their thumbs on on their mobile device, right? Well, we found out that, you could pair up a Bluetooth keyboard with a phone, right? And a student can type out everything that they needed. In that instance, that was meeting the students' needs where they were and trying to be helpful to them. And I always look back on that one as that was a wow moment for us in terms of trying to do that. So anyway, that being said, that was last week. You guys are doing an amazing job. Super love the interaction. Check out our feedback. We're offering it. This next week, Module 2, we get into navigation. And we even provide some course planning elements for you as you think about planning out your course, right? We also talk about the course outline assignment. And when I think of the course outline, I think of it as a way to communicate the essentials of the course along with due dates and things like that. So for us, you will see and I'm going to scroll back down to our friendly neighborhood syllabus. If I were to go to the syllabus for this particular program, right? Our course outline, our course schedule, if you will, is at the end. And one of the things I like about the way we do ours is that we provide you with the schedule, what's going on, what are the topics that we're covering, and then what are the activities and assignments associated with those topics. So in a way, I'm visualizing for myself. I see the topic, I can look at those activities and make sure that they align, right? But then I bring in that extra step. I actually bring in our schedule kind of the objectives for each week to remind the student and remind me and our facilitators what it is that we're trying to do in that unit. So I think there's value in that from the standpoint of your course outline assignment, and I hope you think about that as you put your own course outline together or course schedule together for your own students. So the stuff for this week is due on the Halloween, a spooky due date if ever there was one for this particular module. And so when we think about navigation, we think about it in a number of ways, right? We think about the best way for me to think about it is try to design with the end in mind, maybe sketching out a framework, and then thinking about, okay, how do my units flow? Are they similar in look and feel? So my students aren't experiencing a brand new thing every time they move from one unit to a next. Those kinds of things are important to me. So, and then is it bite size? Is it something that they can sink their teeth into and work through as they work through the course? So we talk about that. So go through navigation, go through some of the videos that we have in here. Read through the content, and then work your way through the activities for Module 2. Module 3 is due on Sunday, and that's when we start to get into a subject that I think is near and dear to our hearts, and I hope to your hearts as well, and that is universal design for learning and being accessible and making sure your course contents are accessible. So we're going to ask you to do some things along the lines of this particular. You're going to be looking at your course, so you're going to look at the elements of design section when you get here, and we're going to want you to go through a particular video on the elements of design, and then we want you to actually take a look at UDL at a glance. This is an important video in thinking about getting our content together. And universal design is essentially design for all, and we break it down and we talk about it. We also talk about some other stuff in here, but we really get into accessibility and all that good stuff. So make sure you take the time in this unit to not only go through the content, do your self-assessment, think about your course or your potential future course, and then we have a way for you to think about your own. This unit seems like it's got more activities, but they're pretty good. So we have one reflection where we want you to think about, after watching that Universal Design for Learning video and working through this unit, we want you to ask yourself some questions and reflection, right? When was the first time you remember forming an opinion? What people or events shaped your assumption? And have you changed your perspective over time? I really feel as I grade these over the years, as we grade these, this unit of myself, it really demonstrates for me how instructor experience, direct experience, can impact the perspective. So I hope you take the time to do that one. And then we actually want you to do a fun little discussion activity where you actually write out a letter to your friend saying what you liked about the UDL stuff. So in a letter to your best friend, explain how you incorporate at least one UDL principle from our video that we shared with you in your online courses. Instructions are pretty easy to follow there. And then you just follow it up with the check-in, right? You do an image upload activity, which I think is the fun activity. This image upload assignment is actually one where we want you to upload the image inside your template course that we gave you, right? So that template course is that second course that we assigned to you, the CRTC template course. We talked about it in our orientation, so you can go back and watch that part of it if you'd like. It's under our course information folder. But this particular assignment, you submit that you've done it here, right? You're going to go in here and say, you're going to actually follow the instruction. When you've added the image to your template course, you're going to come back, go to the submission box below, and type in your course ID for your template course into the submission and submit it. And that way we know where to go check and look for that image. The instructions are pretty simple. We have a video that shows you how to do it. We have an Ultra document to show you how to do it. So pay attention to those. I think they'll be very beneficial for you. And that will be it. Now this unit is due on Sunday, Module 3. So be on the lookout for your Module 2 feedback. And that leads into our tip for this week. So when I think about providing feedback in a digital environment, sometimes it becomes antiseptic, right? It becomes formulaic, maybe sometimes, and not really connective with my students. So when time allows and how I can schedule it, I like to provide feedback in a different medium. In this case, this is video feedback. So what we're going to do, your Module 2 workbook assignment, we're going to be providing video feedback for you, right? So keep that in mind. So I want you to go look at your Module 2 when we grade it. Look at that feedback and see how we do it. But it can be very connective. And if you've got a class with a lot of people and you don't feel like you can get in, even during a 16-week period, let's say you've got a 300-member class, and doing video feedback for every student is not something I want to try to attempt myself. What I like doing there is actually providing video feedback in an announcement, or in a discussion where I kind of consolidate it, right? And you give kudos and give challenges and things like that. But just know that I think it's something that's worthwhile. So I'm going to demonstrate to you with a faux student how I might provide some video feedback on a particular assignment, right? So I might go to this particular activity as an instructor. And here Parker Jones did not quite get his assignment in, but we might pretend that Parker did. So from this actual interface, it's really easy for me to go in here and click on this little video camera that says audio video recording. I click it, and it's going to give me a window that'll say, okay, Jacob, you're recording this video. Do you want it to just be audio or do you want it to be video? That is up to you. It'll be personalized regardless. So I like the video aspect of it. And so now you're seeing a little behind the scenes magic. So you're seeing me in the frame of the course like I'm floating around in the course. And behind me, you see my wonderful green screen, the Spradlin Studio, if you will. So here I might start to record. Now, before I hit this record button for the student, it's going to give me a countdown. I'm going to start smiling before that countdown starts. So if my student ever sees a freeze frame of this video, it doesn't have me doing like the horse face. So I'll start with a smile. Hey Parker, thank you so much for your submission. I really like the way you underscored the needs of the community in this particular assignment as it relates to food shortages and food distribution. I think those little community supermarkets are a great way to get behind that, and I appreciate the time you took by going to visit and provide this information. I look forward to connecting with you again, whether if we're meeting hybrid, that you would tell the student, in class, or if we're meeting online, finding ways to make those conversations meaningful. But in this regard, the student's hearing my voice. So I'm going to go ahead and stop. I can play that video back. And you'll notice I start with a smile on this screen, but I can play that video back if I like it or don't like it. Then I can choose save and exit. It will post this recording inside my window, and I will leave them in some instructions. Please watch the video for your feedback, right? And what this does for the student is it gives them the ability to see their instructor as a human being, to hear the tone and timbre of my voice, to know that there's some caring, indeed some empathy that might be happening behind the scenes, right? So I hope you like this particular practice. I love it because I think about it from the standpoint of trying to get that sense of community in my course and that engagement that I look for in my courses. So anyway, I hope you liked this particular how-to. Remember, Module 2 activities are due Halloween evening. Module 3 are due Sunday evening. I look forward to seeing you online and continuing to be wowed by y'all's wonderful posts. And I hope you have a great day. And tonight's a football game for the Bearcats. We're up against La Tech in Louisiana. So eat 'em up, Cats. Thanks a lot, y'all. Have a great evening.